What's good? What's good? It's Lance motherfucking Tom once again. How you doing today, Kyle? Damn, again. That sucks for you, Kyle. I don't know. I don't watch football. I don't watch football like everybody else, so I'm just like going with the flow. Yeah, I got you. I feel it. It's all good. It's all good. How's your day going today?
My day's going good. And I just realized that I pushed the talk on, so that first couple seconds of the audio was not recording for me. No, I mean, it was me that was muted, not you, Lance. Alright, now I can't hear you, fam. I don't know what you did. Yo, this stream is scuffed again. Hello? Yo, we're having some technical difficulties right now, guys. I can't hear Lance. Hello?
I can hear you now. Yeah,
Oh
I can hear you
shit.
now.
What did I just do? Yo, man, this whole stream scuffed. Hold up, hold up, hold up. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back.
All right.
We're gonna run it back. We're gonna start that whole thing over again.
What happened?
Oh, we're still live recording. I'm just gonna. This is just gonna be a part of the process that we're just gonna learn. I don't know, I don't know. But hey, I'm gonna start that intro all over again. So you ready, fam?
Yes, sir.
Hey yo, what up, fam? It's me, your boy Kyle Vo. I'm here chilling with the homie.
Lance motherfucking Tom. How you doing again
Hey,
tonight, Kyle?
hey, how am I doing again tonight? I am good, fam. I am good.
Oh
Scuffed up that
shit.
intro the first time, but we bouncing back. We bouncing back.
Why not, dude? Why not? Why not? Cool, 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 man. Yeah, yesterday's stream was kind of cool, man, right? Playing Among Us, listening to tunes.
Yes, it was cool. Yeah, homie Daniel was chilling with us in Discord last night, putting us on some game with some of the rap groups that he really fucks with. You know, like that '90s kind of like Chicano groups sound.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was dope. And then we was playing Vel the Wonder, and like uh put her on I think last week, but we went a little more in depth last night, and it was sick. And then you had
It
those
was
two
good.
cats, one from Daly City and one from Vallejo, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it was a pretty good night. I mean, I liked it. It was a real chill. What we needed, what everybody needed. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I love that night. I love that night for sure.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. So you listening to any new music right now? Any old music?
I listened to that new Busta Rhymes. Um, Old music. Shit, I would just keep listening to Tyler and Quali and Most Def the whole
Oh,
way through. You
definitely.
know.
I've definitely been listening to Black Star a lot today.
Oh god, I listen to
Definitely.
Black Star more than ever,
Uh,
which is kind of crazy.
Definition was just stuck in my head all day.
One, two, three. Oh
Most
my
definitely.
god.
Talib
Big
Kweli.
Quali.
Yeah, dude.
They shot Tupac and Biggie. Stop the violence in hip hop.
I am. Yeah, dude. I
Oh my
fucking love that
god.
song. Love that song. Yeah, but the Busta album dropped last week. So you gave it a listen? Do you like it?
I gave it one, and it was cool. It was not the Busta I knew, like you said, bro. Like it's
I
some kind
told
of
you. I told you, my
some.
man's.
It's like the Chris Brown Busta when he's in that "Look at Me Now" music video. It's kind of like that. It's not what I thought it would be. I'll tell you that.
I feel like that Busta though, and that Chris Brown one, and that Chris Brown song, that was
Yeah.
still his Busta flow though. Like
Mm.
that, like it was still his regular flow. That this new album, he switches up a little, which I can respect. It's just experimenting or whatever. But yeah, it wasn't the bust I was really expecting. The music
No, I
videos
definitely.
still go pretty hard though.
Yeah, 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 definitely. You can always like count on Busta to have like crazy ass music videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most definitely, most definitely.
What
So
about you?
like
Have you listened to any new music lately?
I've not actually not new. I think it came out like a month or 2 months ago, but that I think the album's called New Beginnings
Who's that by?
by Reason. I think he's a cat signed to TDE.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. How you like that? Is it cool?
It's
You give it a
cool.
listen?
Yeah, the couple songs I like on there was like I got it right here, but Pop Shit, it's featuring Schoolboy Q. I Can Make It with Rhapsody, Flick It Up with Absol, Sauce with Vince Staples, Extinct. That has Isaiah Rashad and JID or Jid. Yeah.
Damn, Vince Staples. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Shit, I didn't know he still raps. I'm just kidding.
Yo, the album was fire though.
I had to give it a listen. I don't think I even downloaded it, which is kind of funny because I always download like some new music every Friday, you know. So definitely gonna get that a listen for sure, man.
Yeah, you should definitely give it like a listen. I think it's definitely worth it. I think you would like it. Maybe the first time around you're gonna be like okay. Um, Maybe like the second or third time, you'll probably get like formulate a better opinion about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's
Okay.
cool. Besides that, just a lot of old music. We were doing the New York episode last week. I was just listening to a lot of New York rap.
I went back to my roots on that shit, man. That New Year episode really like brought me back to like my high school, middle school days, and it was kind of crazy.
Like I'm I'm all for like living in the present and kind of just like moving on from the past. Like, sometimes some people are just like stuck in the past.
Oh
But
yeah,
when it
yeah, yeah.
comes to music, I don't know. It's just there's a sound I like. It's a sound that's familiar. It's a sound that resonates with me, and it's super nostalgic, and it's like euphoric when you hear it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely. It gives you. It's like a time machine. Music is always like a time machine to me, and I definitely am thankful that I remember all these songs. you know, or I know all these songs.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. But I guess we could just kind of get right into it then, right?
Fuck it, why not, man? These are two of our favorite. Well, our favorite rappers of all time. I believe all time, but we got like a connection with them, man. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. So my favorite rapper is the Mighty Most Def, one half of Black Star. Lance is your favorite rapper
Ta-
is
Tyler Kweli, the other
Tyler.
half of Black Star.
And it's funny, we always joke about it because, we're two dudes, we're doing a podcast, a duo essentially, and they're one of our favorite duos.
Which is
And
crazy, you know.
and we wanted to do this episode about them. We wanted to include Black Star in our duos episode. I believe that was episode four
I
or
think
five.
so.
Yeah.
4 or 5, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we wanted to do it, but we were just like, yo, fuck, I think we should just dedicate a whole episode to Black Star since
Yeah, it's gonna take a whole episode
it, it
because
it's gonna take some time to talk about, and it is what it is.
definitely, definitely,
So,
it is what it is.
like the forming of Black Star was like super interesting, and I guess you kind of got to know about each artist's background, where they originated from.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, Most Def prior to becoming a rapper was pursuing an art career. He wanted to be an actor, and he found like some like mild form of success. He was going to an art school out in New York, and when he was in high school, he moved out to the West Coast, and then started getting some gigs out there. And it wasn't until about the mid '90s he came back to New York to like pursue a rapping career. And I thought that was like super interesting because like, now that I think about it, Most Def is like definitely an entertainer, in various
Mhm,
forms, just
mhm.
beyond like rap or just music. And the man was in some movies, makes a ton of cameos in music videos.
Oh
My
yeah,
favorite
no
one
doubt.
being the Alicia Keys ones. The
Is
You
it
Don't Know My
the
Name.
You Don't Know My Name?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Love it. Yeah, he had an interesting upbringing. I didn't know he was like one of 12 kids.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
dude, his
crazy.
his parents got busy, but uh he was kind of raised by like just his mother. I think his father was residing out in New Jersey, and he was just like living with his mom and his several siblings out in New York
Yeah.
during kind of the craziest time, like the golden era of hip hop.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about your man's Talib? You got a little bio about him, or what's up?
Well, Tyler Khalid, it's crazy. They're like really connected in a way, Kim and Mos Def, because Tyler Khalid was like, I think he was like a working at the bookstore. He was just a regular guy. His
Yeah,
parents grew up. His parents grew up. His mom was like a English professor. His dad was like the administrator at the Alpha Universe. Both younger brothers went to law school, and he was just in a family that's really like really into politics. And he got into that, and um, shit, Tyler Kweli is known for American rapper, being an entrepreneur and an activist. He has his own podcast now. Reformed a group with the high tech called Reflectional Internal. Um, with Tyler Kweli, he has some bangers and he had some like albums that were really really dope. That like I believe cemented his his what is it his
legacy.
stardom. His stardom, yes, his
Sorry.
legacy, stardom in hip hop. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, Tyler Kweli it's like it's like poetry in motion for this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I love Tyler Kweli as much as you love Most Def, and this is why we're doing this episode just to show you guys like what's it mean to both of us.
So it's like crazy. It's crazy you saying that it's poetry, like everything Talib does, because it's the same thing with most Def, right? I
Hmm.
mean, that's what all rappers, or in my opinion, that's what most majority of rappers, maybe not all, are. They're essentially poets. They're street poets, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like you were saying, Talib was the soup. He was a big activist. Same thing with Mos Def, and the forming of Black Star came from Mos Def working at that bookstore with Talib.
Hmm.
That's how they came to be, and they were both pursuing this rap career, happened to be working at the same place, and they had their own solo projects. But in the midst of working on their own solo projects, they decided to form this duo known as Black Star, and dropped one of like the dopest, like controversial, or maybe not controversial, but just one of the dopest albums in the late 90s. And it was, I don't want to say it, how can I put this? This is a time when you think that conscious rap, because they're conscious rappers, at the end of the day, they make conscious rap. Even
No
though
doubt, no doubt.
I would say Talib has a lot more commercial like hits success beyond like Black Star and Most Def with his
Hmm.
discography.
Hmm.
But like at that time in the 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, you had like a Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. And then before that, I had the group like Native Tongues, Jungle Brothers, like everyone, like all these people. And then like other great MCs before them, when I mention like Native Tongues, you think of like Queen Latifah too, And it's like all these people were big in their communities. They were big on like, African culture. They were big on trying to push a positive message, you know?
Yeah.
And all of that led to Black Star, one of the most legendary hip hop duos, in my opinion, Lance's opinion too, I bet.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. No pun intended.
And it's just like it's crazy. And like before we kind of like break down Black Star and some of their songs, like what are we spoke about it briefly in the New York, but like what are some of your favorite like Talib Kweli songs?
Oh, this is like I said in the New York episode. There's a bunch, man. We definitely got Get By, The Blast, Definition. Oh, that's a Black Star song, but still a great song. We got Fly Away, Never Been in Love, I Try, We Know, Perfect Beat. I mean, the list goes on. Talib had like some freaking bangers, and it's he makes hits after hits, man. I think he's definitely still a sleeper in my eyes. He's like an underrated rapper, and I can't stress that enough. stress that enough that like he doesn't get the credit he deserves all the time.
Uh,
Definitely my favorite song is definitely "Get By" for sure.
um, I agree with you, dude. They definitely don't get the love, they don't get the flowers they deserve, and maybe because they're kind of thought they're put in that category of conscious rap. I mean, they are
Mhm,
conscious rappers, but when you're kind of in that category, I feel like it's very difficult to break out into the mainstream because you're not rapping about the same shit everyone else is. You know, going into the time period, going into the excuse me, early 2000s, hip hop became super commercial. We spoke at that about that briefly in a previous episode. I think when we were talking about female MCs, we
mhm.
were saying that like hip hop in the 90s was like super serious, and that was when labels and everything and the world realized that hip hop wasn't just a fad, it was this thing to stay, and money just started being poured into it. Hip hop started like over like becoming as popular as pop music, right? And going
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the 2000s, like that's what happened. It essentially became pop music, you know? And the shit, they aren't making, I guess they're just not making radio hits, you know? They're not making like the Billboard 140 whatever. They're not making the songs you'll go into the club to, like, you'll play in the club and all that. They were targeting a different audience, but the real ones know. Like
Oh,
tons of people will talk about like how great this album was, how great they were, how great Talib is, like how ill Most Def is.
definitely. I think they made a mark for themselves for their legacy. So I believe that. I mean, I believe they'll definitely be remembered. For sure. um, they're dope MCs, and I don't know. I just like their style. It's something about them. Watching them perform or watching them really like listening to the songs got me thinking about my like back in my old days, like in high school, middle school. So it's bring back memories just hearing their songs all the time.
Um, yeah, like, you know, my favorite Most Def songs, um, like Mathematics is like
Mathematics,
crazy fucking good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was it Miss Fat Booty?
Miss Fat Booty. Oh yeah.
Like that was fucking crazy good too. Um, fuck, what else? Like there's so fucking many.
Close
Sunshine,
Edge, Sunshine.
Sunshine's so good.
Live
And what's
the
crazy is
sunshine.
Sunshine was on an album that I didn't really like because of production reasons, I guess. It was um
Was it the album when like he's like pointing the gun to his head, kind of like thing?
yeah.
It wasn't Black on Both Sides, right? That
No,
was
no, no,
like,
no. Black and Both Sides was his first album, which was
yeah.
crazy.
Bang. Yeah,
Um
bang, man.
yeah, Umi says, "Oh no." It was the new Danger. Yeah, he's wearing the hat and then like the bandana around his face, right?
I
Um
remember that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know. It was just I just really wasn't fucking with the production, but Sunshine's like one of my favorite songs on there. I guess Ghetto Rock is also pretty good too.
Hmm.
But like Black on Both Sides, besides like Miss Fat Booty, Umi says, um, Mathematics, there's New World Water, Got It, Do It Now with Busta Rhymes. That's also a super good one. Uh, Hip Hop, that was also a
Oh my
fucking
god,
banger.
forgot about that one. Shit, how did I forget about that one?
Brooklyn was super good too. The only issue that I have with Most Def, and it hurts me, is that comparing his discography to like Talib, it's tough because he only has like three albums, where Talib has like so many fucking projects. It's
Man,
ridiculous.
I mean, recent project was 2017, so that's 3 years back. So he's been making albums for a minute, man. Like Gutter Rainbows, Prisoner of I forgot the name of that one, but that and he did a album with Styles P. I mean, this guy's doing numbers. This guy's doing album work, but he doesn't, like I say, he doesn't get the recognition, nor does anybody like really pay attention if unless you're a real fan, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Um, so I guess going into Black Star, I guess like kind of breaking down the album. Um, I honestly don't know where to begin. That album's so fucking good. Like the intro is sick as fuck. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Definition is one of my all-time favorite songs. Redefinition, fucking Children's Story. B boys will be b
Woo!
boys. Yo yeah, Respiration. Thieves in the
These are the
Night.
night.
Oh my
Uh,
god. Hater Players.
There's
It's
so much to go through, man. And there's only 13 songs on one album that they ever made together, you
yo
know? So it's
13 like long ass songs. Actually, some of them are like 2-3 minutes, but like some of them are like
yeah.
5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they're
yeah.
all fucking good. They all fucking good.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like it's isn't this like so surprising that they haven't made us like a second album? Like it's been like in the works, in the works, in the works, but it never like came out fully, you know?
Yeah, and I wonder why. Like I really wonder if it's just because they were, you know, they're just so focused on their own solo careers, and it's like Black Star was this great thing they can always look back on. But I always wondered why there was never like a second project. Why was there never a third project? Was it just because the timing was never right? For all we know, they could have like 50, 60 songs just locked up in the vault that they worked together, but they just deemed that it wasn't good enough to be released, right? Like it happens all the time.
Yeah, all the time. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Like, why didn't they just stick with it? Like, did they think they were gonna like hate each other at the end, or do they think that like Black Star was just a one-time thing and that's it? You know? So it's man, it's crazy because they performed together a couple times back in like 2014, 2015 in Oakland. Um, but they never really said anything about a new album, and that's what people like the Black Star fans like wanted, like a second album, you know. So it just puzzles me, you know. Till this day, we always want to figure out why there wasn't no second album.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, so let's just start with definition. Probably both of our favorites, right? Would you say it's your absolute favorite off the album, or it's up there but not quite your favorite?
You know, it's definitely up there. Like I remember like kind of like word for word, just like the chorus and everything. But as I listened to it throughout this whole week when we're trying to like build up to this episode, I really am like connected to B boys will be B boys now, which is kind of I mean I was a B boy back then, so I mean
Hmm.
I kind of like gravitated to the song a little bit more. Is paying homage to hip hop with the abilities of B boys will be B boys. You know, they verses after verses after verses, and just like for a minute and 30 seconds, they let just the instrumental play. So b-boys will be
Oh,
b-boys, you know,
it
they'll break
was.
dance to the
Yep,
song.
yep.
I did not realize that. Like they left it for like a minute and 30 seconds. That's basically 2 rounds, if you call it in a b-boy battle. So just like
Okay.
little shit like that, like it's crazy. I don't know if that they purposely did that, but you know, b-boys will be b-boys and definition will definitely be tied up in a way now,
Okay.
you know, since I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it like
yeah.
opened my mind to this shit, you know? But I mean, definition, man, you can't really forget the definition, bro. The music
Dude.
video,
So
the chorus.
the the music video was dope, but like the hook, the chorus is like 1, 2, 3,
Three,
most def
most
and Talib Kweli.
quality. Oh my god, dude! Like it was like it was just basically like an intro for us to have, you know, when they're saying that shit. You know, like this is us, you know.
Man, it was just yeah, man, because where they were just like that, and they're like best alliance in hip hop. Why
Uh,
and then then they mentioned like how like it's kind of dangerous. They shot Tupac and Biggie.
Biggie.
Too much violence in hip hop, and that was some. Even though it's just like the chorus, like I I always thought like how crazy that was because it's true, you know. At that time, before back then, they would talk about how rappers, in a lot of old interviews, rappers didn't have, or they had, you know, the big ass entourage and everything, right? But they didn't
Hmm.
have hella security. I was listening to like on Sway in the morning. He was going over how back then, like in the early '90s, like when he was when like hieroglyphics was coming up, right? They
Hmm.
was at
Hmm.
like some hotel in like San Francisco in the lobby, and you know they found out that like Nas was there, and then they went out there because they were trying to battle Nas. They were
Hmm.
trying to like, you know, push their mixtapes and everything, and you know they were just able to walk in there. Nas was there with the homies, but there was like no security or anything. No one had no guns, no nothing, you know. And it was
Hmm.
like, you know, it was all love, it was all friendly and shit. And then you know some shit happened, you know, with the Pac shooting and everything, and then shit just got way out of hand, and it was just the community was killing itself.
That's it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Like these little things that Tyler and Collier and Mos Def are trying to like pertain, trying to push. That shit like that, and make into a song, make into like a chorus that anybody can sing to. But it's like just talking about real ass shit. And I definitely, as I'm like listening to it again, this week, I definitely like really gravitated to a little bit more. And I think if it comes out today, if it came out today this year, I think it'll still be relevant to this day.
Yeah, yeah. uh, I think if it came out right now, it would be absolute like platinum, double
Oh
platinum,
yeah.
diamond,
Triple platinum.
whatever the fuck is beyond diamond, dude.
Because
Just so
because you can know like when music comes out all the fucking time now. So I mean, bro, they can if it came out tonight, like you said, bro, like, it is definitely that album that is timeless and it will never like be old anymore.
so one of my favorite lines uh from Black Star, and I thought it was super creative. And I think about it now, and maybe like it's kind of corny,
Mhm.
but in the first verse, Mos Def goes like, "Me and Kweli close like Bethlehem and Nazareth. After this, you'd be pressing rewind on the top of your master disc, shining like an asterisk for all those that be gathering, connecting like a roundhouse from the townhouse to the tenements." And then I was like, "Oh, Bethlehem, Nazareth. Okay, there's like you got a little biblical thing right there. They're close. They're two cities that are like super close to each other, and um, but the shining like an asterisk, I was just like shining like an asterisk. What is an asterisk? Oh, it's that star thing, right? It's a
Yeah.
black star shining like black star. They are black star. I thought that was the most amazing thing in life, dog. Like, I was like, come on.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious, dude. So I see like shit like that, bro. That's just like hella funny. Like, fuck, dude. You really had to think and realize that he had a fucking bar in that fucking song. Oh my god, that's hella funny, dude.
Dude,
It's too
I love it. I love it. Um, so you have you got you got a favorite lyrics or you got a favorite bar from the song?
mm, from like in general or like definition.
Let's just say off Black Star, just any song off like the Black Star album.
Man, I don't know if I could pick one. And if I could pick one, I don't think that would be my favorite one because there's so much good shit. So, oh no. That's definitely a tough one, man. We have to go back.
It's tough because like you listen to Respiration and like that whole song is ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Respiration, Haters Player, Yo, yeah, Thieves in the Night, like, oh, the Thieves in the Night beat. I like that beat, man. I think that's kind of like one of my favorite beats off that album,
Like
Thieves in the Night.
Thieves in the Night was
Yeah.
definitely dope. That's a fuck, dude. I really want to play the music so bad, but
Dude, you telling me, bro? You're telling me, dude. As we're
But
talking about
yeah, dude. But for us to like upload this like YouTube later and like
it.
all our other platforms, that shit would get muted and flagged, and
Oh,
it'll just be a bad time.
whole bunch of shit. I mean, let's talk about our favorite second song, man. What's your second favorite song on this album?
I can't pick between. So fuck.
It's like
Um.
picking your favorite kid, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't have kids, so that's easy. So it'll probably be my dog. But you know. Fuck, dude. I would probably say respiration.
Respiration
Yeah, respiration.
featuring
Um.
Common, right?
Yeah, I had comment on there, and I forgot like Common's been in the rap game for like so fucking long.
Dude, Common's a b-boy. Did you know that?
Common's a b boy. I had no idea.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Oh,
every show that he does, I think he does like a couple, not like windmills and shit, and it's fucking legit.
yeah, so man,
Legitness,
man, still doing windmills like at 45.
dude. It's so crazy. Okay, before we go into any more songs, bro, let's talk about the album cover. I have this shit on vinyl, so I'm gonna show you right now.
Yo, show it to the people.
The album cover. What do you think about the album cover that they made this, man?
I think that's crazy that you paid $23.99.
Oh shit, the price is killing me. Hey man, I still love this album. But dude,
No,
the album cover.
you know what? I for Yo, I feel like the album artwork's crazy. I love the colors and everything, and I always thought, it's like yellow, red, orange, black, green, right?
Mhm,
Like those colors on
mhm.
there. And I always thought
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was always like them, the color scheme kind of like paying homage to the Caribbean a little bit,
Yeah,
because that's where hip hop originally originated from the Bronx with Cool Herc, right? But
yeah.
they originally came from the Caribbean, his parents, you know? So that's where a lot of these hip hop influence, especially on the drums and everything, come from. And
Yeah.
I don't know. And then also because I think the album cover is like super dope, because I think of T-Pain has a very similar album cover a little later, and Slum Village and Jay Dilla. They also have a lot of album covers
Oh my god, what
that
the fuck,
are
huh? I didn't know
very
that.
similar too. And maybe
Wow.
it's not. Maybe it could just be totally random,
Maybe it could
but
be a coincidence, but
maybe it's a coincidence. But I don't know, dude.
yeah, I just like the whole orange, and then just like I guess the speaker box has the 2 stars on the left and the right, top
hmm
quality, most def.
hmm
Like the architect on this album cover is sick. You know, it's so simple.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like really simple, yet it catches your fucking eye.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like who would have thought?
Also, like some Bob Marley like vibes too.
Mm, definitely, man. So yeah, I mean, this is like artwork that you see like on San Francisco billboards, like people tagging it. Like I don't know, maybe back then they did that. You
hmm
know, I mean, when this album came out, we're only what 6 years old, 1998. Yeah, so 6 years old. So stuff like that, man. I dig it. I fucking love like the whole concept of it. I mean, it's Black Star, you know, and it sucks we didn't get a second album. Like it still like hurts me to this day, you know.
Uh, so was this whole album produced by High Tech?
I believe so. I believe the story is that High Tech and Talib Kweli did a song together. Most Def caught the like a tape of it, and then Most Def was like, I have to get them on Ruckus Records, and I think Talib, no, I'm sorry, High Tech produced this whole album. So I mean, I think that's how I went with Ruckus Records. You know, Ruckus Records was like, look, let's hold off on both your single albums, like Talib and Mos Def. Let's make a conjoint Black Star album. Like, I don't
Okay.
know if it was called Black Star at first, but Ruckus Records knew they had 2 superstars at one point, and if they did a solo record and not Black Star first, I think they wouldn't have the same, like, type of vibes or type of, like, energy, I
So,
believe.
do you think maybe this is just like some conspiracy type shit, but they weren't able to follow up with the second project because Ruckus Records ceased to exist in the early 2000s, right? They were only around for a couple of years. And
Um,
did they become did it did they kind of get like bought out and became combined they combined with like another label, because like say like Def Jam, it's like a subsidiary of Def Jam Records or something. I wonder that, and I wonder if it's just whoever they signed to after that. There was just some contract complications and all that other industry bullshit.
yeah, I mean, because Tyler Kweli only did 2 albums with Ruckus Records. Only Quality and The Beautiful Struggle,
Hmm.
both amazing albums, of course. And, maybe it is a conspiracy that at the time they didn't get along or the solo records, both of them like blowing up, so they couldn't have time to make another Black Star album. So I mean, as time goes on, they both did numbers on their albums. They did pretty good for themselves. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to Ruckus Records, but somehow, some way, they didn't stay long on that. 2 albums and they're done.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Um, so if we kind of go back to the album and you think about the first song, Astronomy.
Yes.
So I thought Astronomy was cool because the dynamic of having a group or a duo, right, to rap together in a song. Sometimes it could just be, all right, so I'm gonna kill one verse, the first verse, then the chorus, the hook, and then go into the second verse. But then sometimes the second verse doesn't really complement the first verse, right? Sometimes it's just two artists that are just competing with each other to see who can drop the dopest 16 on that song. But with Astronomy, it was like it was almost like a conversation that they were having. It was a lot of like back and forth. Like you had it here written, like it was almost kind of like some Run DMC type shit, where they would just go back and forth with each other, and then a couple bars here, a couple bars there, back and forth, just like that.
Mhm, mhm.
And I think about another duo, and you know, the only group that comes to mind right now is maybe like Outkast.
Oh, that could do the same thing they did on this album.
Yeah, I mean anyone could do it, but like to do it good, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you gotta have chemistry. Like, with Outkast, I'm not gonna, like, shun your answer, but you're talking about 2 MCs, that were totally different people that came together. I think they weren't even solo artists before, right? Before Blackstar created? They just created Blackstar at that point, right? I mean, they made a couple songs
They
by
were,
themselves.
yeah. So they Black Star is what kind of like cemented their legacy and their career, right? And kind of jump
Mhm.
started everything. Before that,
Yeah.
Most Def was just going around doing open mics, spoken words. There's that legendary video of him in the park just doing those freestyles, right? And
Mhm.
it's like that was them. And the same thing with like Talib. He was working in the bookstore. I think Talib actually had projects prior to Black Star being formed.
So
But
what you could
I'm sorry, go
so
ahead.
my question is basically, I mean, they're 2 MCs that's formed Blackstar, and they do well with a solo album. So, I mean, not saying no, I'm not saying Outkast is not like that, but in a similar way.
Are you trying to say like as similar as like you like comparing them, like, yeah, yeah, there's some similarities, but can Outkast have a career? Like, can Andre 3000 have a solo career and Big Boy have a solo
Yes.
career
Yes. Yes.
that's comparable to Mos Def and Talib? Uh, I don't know. I want to say yeah. Big Boy still drops a lot of solo projects
Yeah.
on his
Most
own.
definitely. Most definitely.
Andre hasn't released anything really. He will
I
do
mean,
a feature here and there, but he does a lot of producing now. So
so Andre 3000 never had like an album, right? It was more like features. So
at the moment, I can't think of like a solo project that he had off the top of my head,
yeah, yeah,
unless
yeah.
you count that Roses and the speaker box below.
Nah, technically not because it was still both an album.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to say that, Outkast did not have a great career because they did.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that two dope MCs came together, solo careers, didn't even know each other. I mean, barely knew each other, and they decided to form this star group. They fucking went solo again. They separated, and they never formed this group again. But they still have great, amazing careers. So, I mean, they did well for themselves. I think by themselves. But what would you think would happen if they like stayed Black Star and never did a solo careers?
I think that you would categorize them the same as you would categorize Outkast.
Mm. But would you think they? You think would they? Did you think would they succeed more if they were stayed in the group, or do you think are they better by themselves in solo? Because
Uh,
we were listening to this album, right? So you have like I think maybe a updated point of view on this shit, maybe.
so yeah, they would be. That's tough because how I view Mos Def, how I have him in my top 5, right? I
Hmm.
have him in my top 5 not because he was part of Black Star. As much as I love this Black Star project,
Hmm. Hmm.
I have Mos Def in my top 5 because of his solo projects.
Mm. Okay.
So I guess to answer your question, um, no, I don't think
I don't
they
think.
would be as successful as they were now.
Mm. Okay. No, I got you. I got you. At that point, I didn't really know what I was thinking, but I mean, you get what I'm saying, though, right? I think you do, right?
I get what you're saying. I think you're just
Yeah.
extremely lit and you had too many of whatever you were drinking.
Yeah, I think so too, but I'm still enjoying it. But astronomy. So we were talking about astronomy. That was that your first or second song that you like?
Uh, Respiration was my second favorite, but Astronomy was it's up there, and I thought it was like super cool. But
Yeah.
give me a second. I gotta run right back. I'm gonna run a quick ad real quick, and we'll be right back momentarily.
Yes, sir. It's a lion to the top.
Hey yo, fam, and we back.
What's good, everybody?
And we back, fam. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong hotkey for my push to talk thing. Yo, so another favorite song off Black Star for me is Children's Story. And
Mm.
so I did not know for the longest time. that it was like basically based off Slick Rick's version of the song.
Damn, yeah. I didn't know that either until I like looked this shit up as well
No,
too.
so I would always listen to the song, and then you would hear the beat, and I was like, damn, this beat is so fucking familiar. Where the fuck am I hearing this from? But I can't put my fucking finger on it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
like going on, it's like, oh yeah, it's like their spin on Slick Rick's children's story, and I was like, God fucking damn it, yo, that's where it's from.
Oh my god. Children's story. Yeah, it's about a teenager who resorts to a life of crime before he's gunned down by law enforcement, which is told instead of from the context of the music industry.
Oh, that's
It's a it's some deep shit in this album, bro. Like I never knew about, you know?
Go ahead. I mean, like, is there anything you want to say about that one in particular, or?
I mean, it's happening now, bro. This album was in 1998. You know, this happened this year. Like a teenager resort to life of crime before he's gunned down by the law enforcement, which is nuts. You know, like they're putting this into the context of the music industry.
So
I mean, no.
it's if you guys listen to the song right now, and it's paying homage to like Slick Rick and his song, right?
Mhm.
So it's essentially a cover, you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but their own version of it. Um, I don't know. It was. It's like it just in the beginning. It's like once upon a time, not long ago, when people wore Adidas and lived life slow, and I was just like, just like that first bar, it it kind of brings you back into when he says it, not once upon a time, not long ago, and then you immediately think like, all right, so Adidas tracksuits like the '80s, like Run DMC type shit. And he says like when laws were stern and justice stood and people were behaving like hip hop was good, and that's them taking shots about how they felt hip hop was becoming, where it was going, you know,
Mhm.
and I don't know, it was just another one of those like super dope songs. What about Thieves in the Night? That's one of your favorites, right?
Thieves in the Night. I love that beat. Like it's like a soothing type of vibe beat. Like it's like a beat that I could sleep through in the night. Like of course Thieves in the Night, right? It's loosely based off of award-winning novel The Bluest Eye by Toni Morris. The song challenged the belief of the story protagonist who desires to be seen differently, suggesting instead to be proud of who you are without any need for society's approval. So, I mean, just that alone, like you, it's really just telling you that you don't really need anybody's approval but yourself. You don't need to do societies. You don't need to have like any social media at all to really have society's opinion. And this was like in 1998, and this can be pertained till now. So These Are Nights is pretty sick album. Like the rhyme scheme in that song really matched that beat in a way that I related to.
Yeah, I feel you. The Sorry, one moment. Sorry, I saw there was like an issue with the internet for a second.
Oh no, you're good,
um, I feel like the song kind of shows you how smart they are. Like, um, the type of person Talib Kweli is as like an intellectual, the same thing as Mos Def. You said
man.
like the song is like loosely based on an award-winning novel,
Hmm.
and you know, pretty sure where did they find out about the novel? Through Talib, his
Hmm.
parents being extremely educated, and passing down everything that they know and they learned, and then also just working at like the bookstore, right?
Mhm.
And this song kind of talks about a lot of stuff that maybe you wouldn't want to hear.
Mhm.
And it's just it kind of borders that, or it doesn't border. It is like one of those super conscious rap songs.
Yeah. I mean, like every song they have on this album is constant rap, but this in general, like it's just that one song you just really gotta listen off their album, you know?
I don't know. There's this one part of it where he's like, and so tomorrow coming later than usual, waiting on someone to pity us while we find the beauty in something hideous. They say money's
Mhm.
the root of all evil, but I can't tell. You know what I mean? Pesos, francs, yens, dollar bills, or is it the mindset that's ill? And I thought, what stood out to me was waiting on someone to pity us while we find the beauty in the hideous. It kind of like, I feel like it's the philosophy of like the grass is always greener on the other side, or you will always find some good in something, even
Mhm.
though people would deem something super negative, super bad, like trash, whatever. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I always thought it was like something like that, and like that's some shit like I believe in, like super tough.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
the money is the root of all evil. Them saying that, yeah, a lot of things that people do, especially when they're hurting their own community, when you rob someone, you shoot them up, whatever, like whatever shit you're doing just to get paid, because you can't put food on the table, whatever that rough life you're living. But is it really, the money, or is it some shit that you're being fed, like mentally, like some psychological type shit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, shit, man, like shit like this, dude. Like we said, bro. If it came out today, it would make sense. It would make sense to actually release it today. You know, in this world that we live in. So shit, they're like, I don't know. In a way, they're like just speaking to the future. You know, I believe.
Uh, it is, and it. So here's a question: do you feel that the way that an album like the tracks on an album are laid out, like it's supposed to flow, right? An album's essentially a story, like this
Hmm.
big story. Or to me, I think an album is a storybook, and all the songs are different chapters in the storybook. And the
Hmm.
storybook, there's always one theme, and you're going through each chapter and then going up to the climax. And this is one of the last songs uh on the album, and it's like one of like the most heavy hitting songs.
Was it twice in a lifetime, right?
No, I'm talking about Thieves in the Night. Thieves in the Night was the second to
Oh,
last.
yeah, 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 yeah. I got you. I got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't really. I never. Damn, I never noticed that. That's crazy.
Also, it's one of like the longest songs on the fucking album. That shit's like over 5 minutes long. So fuck. All like Twice in a Lifetime is also another great song. That's also long as fuck.
Twice in a life. Yeah, yeah. That one's pretty long. It's a follow-up to their forfeited live cipher and features guest verses from Wordsworth, Punchline, and Jane Doe.
Um, this beat was actually uh High Tech produced this beat and he resampled this song.
No shit.
He did. Um, I think I forget. I think it's like a compilation album or something. I forget what it's called, but that's why in the intro, Todd Lib says, "Oh, we've been here before." So
Oh, what
it's
the fuck? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck?
yeah, yeah. It's uh, I don't know where to find it because I don't know if it's like a mixtape, one of just those lost mixtapes in time. But you need to look that up. It's one of the first projects that like Todd Lib and High Tech were working on. like way back.
What the fuck? Damn, dude. I really you really got me thinking tonight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight, man. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Oh shit, for real.
Dude, what I realized twice in a lifetime is really like just a big ass cipher, bro. I feel like when I'm listening to that song, it's just like one of those New York ciphers that you see in the in the park or like in the abandoned building. It just felt like they just recorded it right there and then. They had a recording and just went to the studio and just like dropped it like that, you know? I feel like it's like a raw song to really end your album on, you know, because that's how Brooklyn was. You really had to freestyle your way into this music industry to prove who's the best because rap battles were a way to promote yourself and really show you who's boss, like who's number one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So twice in a lifetime, I think it was a perfect ending. I think now it's a perfect ending because that's how hip hop was introduced with ciphers, the Dirty Dozens. You know, I mean, back then, like KRS One said in the rap documentary, you know, the Dirty Dozens was like when the slaves had a like a disformity or whatever, and then people those each slave would roast on each other, and that's where it became like the Dirty Dozens, and the Dirty Dozen became like a cipher circle where you roast each other, you see who's better and who's slicker with their rhymes, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a yeah, man, damn. I really just like convinced myself this is like the perfect ending to this to this thing, you know?
Uh, yeah, it's I don't know. Twice in a Lifetime, it's a great song. Even though like I know some shit about the song, like what I just told you,
Mhm.
it's not one of my favorites on the album, and I feel like it's something probably go back and you really need to break down and decipher the lyrics because there's a lot of shit that they're talking about in there.
Oh yeah.
You know.
That's one song that you really have to like go punchline after punchline to see if you got everything correct. But dude, can we talk about the history of where the album was on and who they were up against when they like released this album?
Yeah. So you were talking about like competition, right? That's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Who they were competing with when they released the album.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Okay, so it released 98, 99.
98, September 29th.
Okay,
So
okay.
they had stiff competition like Jay-Z's Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and Outkast. Damn it, I can never say this album.
Aquamini?
Yeah, there you go.
I think
Thank you,
so.
God.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be pronouncing it wrong too.
I mean, you pronounce it better than I do, but anyway, both of them, which would enjoy bigger first week openings on SoundScan and the Billboard charts, among rap was a rap entrepreneurs, major labels. The album was perceived as the most important and confident release of them all. And after pressing play on our Black Star, it's not long before you understand the hype and rear events that surrounded it. Like that's crazy. Like they went up against Jay Z and Outkast and they did great numbers on the Billboard charts, but Black Star really had like an album that people really fuck with, that they really think that was like the release of that like week, better than Outkast and Jay Z.
Um, it's interesting because the label that they were signed to, uh, Ruckus Records, they also
Mhm.
released this big collaboration album that same year called Lyricist Lounge.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that cover for sure.
And it the artwork on it was cool because it reminds me of like some OG like Marvel like comics
Mhm,
and
mhm,
shit, right?
mhm.
But they had I don't know if it was songs that were strictly for this compilation album or if it was, kind of almost like a mix like a mixtape, like an actual mixtape,
Mhm.
where like High Tech just kind of cut it up, put it on there. But like this, like the the album had like De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, or Q-Tip specifically, Black Thought, Common, KRS-One, Jurassic 5, Africa Bambaataa, just to like name a few. It was like it was crazy. And also like some other albums that they had to compete with. The Locks, Money, Power, and Respect. That was another good one. Who else? I'm pulling up the list right here. Public's Enemies, He Got Game, Big Daddy Kane, Veterans Day. That was another one. DMX, It's Dark, and Hell is Hot.
Oh my god. They went up against that? Holy shit.
Yeah. Um, what else?
So, even though you're naming all these albums, right? And they in our eyes, they didn't stand a chance, but in a way, dude, like, to have your album be called the album of that week instead of, like, all these, like, big stars that go up to, like, being bigger stars, you know? Like, do you think they set their goal where they wanted it to be, and they were just like, "You know what? This is as high as we're gonna go, and we're just gonna end it like that, and we're not gonna make another album." Did you think they had, like, think that way, or did you just look did they just really didn't wanna make another album? Like, being on top was being on top. Like, having that compliment was, like, the icing to the cake.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to repeat that whole thing, dude.
Yeah, going against all these, artists that we were going to, like DMX,
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z, Outkast,
Mm-hmm.
right? Did you think, like, having that compliment saying that their album was the best, like, lyrically and everything, like, did you think that they were like, "Okay, so we got this compliment, that's done, that's it, we're not gonna make another album," or did you think that, um yeah, did you think that? Did you do you think that they split up because that was, like, their probably they're gonna be their peak of their careers?
Okay. 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 Uh, I. It's hard to say. Um, I don't know. I personally believe that they just stopped working on the projects, whatever, to pursue a solo career, and it was something that was fun and it made sense at the time, and it was what they needed to kind of kick off their solo careers. Maybe they weren't really planning to have Black Star be this thing, but the timing was right. They just both super complimented each other, and at that point, it just sounded right. And
Mhm.
also, like, I just want to let you know, like, for this album to be what it is, like, you want to know who else dropped an album like a couple weeks before?
Yeah.
Lauren Hill.
Oh, shit. So they had no fucking chance, really. I mean,
Like,
but
it was
they had
Miseducation of
something
Lauren
though, you
Hill,
know?
and then um, a little bit after that, a tribe called like a couple. Uh, Let me see here. Hold on, I have it up. So it released on that same day, right?
Mm,
September 29. They had to compete with brand Nubian, Jay-Z, um, Outkast, and a tribe called Quest dropped the Love Movement that same day,
so crazy.
and
But
that's.
somebody saw that their album was lyrically amazing if you listen to it.
I mean, people say it all the time. It's that album. It's timeless. It's a classic. It's a hip hop classic. A lot of OGs in the game, especially from like New York. They think back. They talk about that album. They talk about who Most Def and Talib Kweli are.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're regardless of like who they were competing with and what other projects dropped around that time. But like, I'll be real with you, dude. Like, the more I look at like the other like some shit that dropped that year after them, right?
Mhm.
Like Pete Rock dropped Soul Survivor in November. That's one of his greatest fucking projects that ever. That's one of his greatest fucking albums ever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
dude. Like it's my fucking god, dude.
I mean, but you gotta look at it this way though, man. Like, that's crazy. Like, you're naming all these fucking rappers that had great albums coming out, and for us to just talk about this album and not everybody else's, it's kind of nuts. Like, whoever wrote that comment, whoever wrote that compliment, saw something in their album and was like, he's going against. They're going against hard hitters, and this is their first, if not maybe their first like album like out there, and going against these hard hitting rappers, like
To,
that's dope. That's
you
really good, man.
it is, and you got to give them the respect they deserve because at that time Jay-Z's probably one of like the hottest rappers at that time, and that Hard Knock Life Volume 2. That
Yeah,
first week he sold over half he sold no, not half a million, over a quarter million. He sold something like 300,000 albums that first week. And for you to be competing with someone you're competing with Jay-Z, and they're saying that your album is as good as Jay-Z's album, like crazy, crazy, dude. You know?
saying, man, this album does not get enough recognition.
Um
It's get enough.
it's tough. I think people like me and you, like we think we know what's up. So yeah, we have this episode about it, right? We talking about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, mainstream commercially, maybe not the same success, but like the impact that it had kind of like on the underground and what it did to inspire other artists, like
yeah.
that's to me that means more than just money. And kind of go back to what they were saying in their album, like money, the root of all evil, or is it our mindset? That's just I don't know. Maybe I'm going too deep into it.
No, I mean, you're going deep enough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's I don't know. Just thinking about it, just listening to it again, it just makes you realize that if you put out a great album, people will definitely catch the wave, catch the vibes. You may not have one or two great hits on the charts, but you have a great dope album that you put out, and people will remember from years on. People will remember as the album that like lyrically beat Jay Z and Outkast and everybody else that you name. Like this is the album that they remembered from
Yeah.
that week that it came out. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. It's I don't know, and also like I said in last week's episode, unfortunately, I didn't discover Mos Def until I was at some point in middle school when I was watching the Dave Chappelle show, and it had him on that episode where it's like, "Hey, yo, who's this cat that's Dave Chappelle's driving around New York City right now, and this dude's just freestyling, just in the back seat or next to him, whatever." And it's like, "Yo, who is this?"
Exactly,
And
and I
at
didn't find out about Tyler Quali until my friend wore that quality hat. So
and
it's
at
oh, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say at that point, this is already in the 2000s, so it's like it's way after Black Star, and it's you know what I mean.
I was in like high school already, middle school, I think.
No, this was probably like right around 2004, 2003, 2003, 2004, probably around that time. So it's
Yeah,
after Black Star. It's after it's after Black on Both Sides. It's probably right around the time or before the New Danger,
mhm,
or at least for most Def's discography. I don't know what album Talib Kweli dropped in for like 2004.
mhm.
Actually, when did that Reflection Internal project drop?
Collection Eternal. Oh, that one came out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 1 year before. Um, was it? Black?
It was Train of Thought, right? Like that
Train of
one?
yeah, Train of Thought in
Yeah, yeah.
2000. So 2 years after
Okay.
Black Star like blew up. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, that was the time. So, I mean, in closing, is there anything you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
Um,
Like about Black Star specifically?
yeah, it changed my perspective in hip hop even more because a lot of people say, of course, hip hop was born in the Bronx. But ever since Brooklyn came out with Black Star, Biggie, and all of them, they feel like that hip hop was born in Brooklyn. I mean, it's the way they were rapping and rhyming and really bringing Brooklyn on the map. And I think Black Star really gave me those certain vibes, certain beats, certain flows that you really have to really think and imagine in your head. Like, if you can listen to this album and close your eyes, I believe you can like make up a story in your mind for this shit.
Yeah, the narrative, they're just so good at storytelling. And you know, the on our notes here, the last question we had was, why is this duo so important to you, right? And
Hmm.
for me, at the time when I was like getting into hip hop, there was I didn't know anything about hip hop, right? I just knew whatever was playing on MTV, whatever, like VH1, BET, whatever. A lot of it was, I don't want to say bad, but it was definitely more of like a lot of the commercial shit, right? But
Hmm.
I didn't know anything back then. But when I discovered like Most Def, I learned about this whole other side of hip hop. And then that was when I started becoming educated about, the OGs. That was when I learned about De La Soul. That's when I learned about Tribe Called Quest. That was when I learned about hieroglyphics. That was when I learned about like all these other groups that don't fall into that category, that kind of, conscious rap, what the fuck ever you want to call it.
Hmm.
But, if I didn't discover Most Def when I did, and if I didn't find out about Black Star, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about hip hop with you.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's some shit like the same with me and Tyler Quali. Like, if I didn't ask my friend like who is that on your hat, I don't think I would be so into music as well too. Like Talib Kweli really taught me that music can be used as a weapon for like good. That you could spit flows and definitely teach somebody the ways of hip hop and the ways of life. And in a way, Talib Kweli, like his album was at not Reflection Eternal. What was his recent album? Um, Back then, I remember I bought two copies of that album, and I'm forgetting right now. Eardrum was like that
Yeah.
first Talib Kweli album that I can really listen to um, when it first came out, and that album changed my life. I bought two copies of those, one on stock and one to like play until the fucking CD scratched. And that album, I love that album with like Hospital Gospel, Country Cousins, Perfect Beat. It was like that certain album that really like connected me with more about hip hop and what I could learn more about the culture.
I feel you. I feel like how you feel about Eardrum is how I feel about The Beautiful Struggle lately.
Mm.
Because, I don't know, maybe like the songs he had with Faith Evans, that Mary J. Blige track. I think
Mhm.
he had I think that was the one with the John Legend, right? Around My Way.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and I can't remember the name, but it was the one with Common. That's gonna bother me.
Fuck, what is that one?
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Oh, Ghetto Show. There you go. It was with
Uh,
Common and Anthony Hamilton, and then also Never Been in Love. That was also a banger.
there you go, man. So,
you know, yeah. But with that, guys, I guess we'll end it tonight. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, joining us. You'll be able to
appreciate
find this.
everybody.
You'll definitely be able to find this episode on our YouTube, SoundCloud, and hopefully we'll be coming to Spotify soon. So keep a lookout
Ooh,
for
yeah.
that. Next week we are going to just be streaming one day, but we're going to do an extra long stream. We're going to be doing our usual Wednesday on our bullshit thing. and then we'll towards the end we'll be doing our like more serious podcast episode where me and Lance will kind of go through talking about how we fell in love with hip hop, how we discovered hip hop.
Definitely,
So
definitely,
that
man.
will be a lot of fun. I
Oh
also
yeah,
want to thank everyone, all the followers, all the viewers that we've been getting, all the people that have subscribed. Love you guys. We're going to be doing another giveaway, 100 follower giveaway, and we'll also be doing an exclusive 50 subscriber giveaway. So once we hit 50 subscribers, all of our subscribers will be put in a raffle to win a very dope prize. So remember to follow us on our socials, which should be down below, and
yep,
catch us
yep,
next
yep.
week, guys.
Definitely. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, you guys.
So, peace.
Peace.